How do you fix internet cables on the bottom of the ocean if they are bitten by sharks? Above all, how do you know where a cable is broken across thousands of miles of sea? From this video to the entire YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, even the entire world system is connected to the internet. And 99% of the world's internet traffic travels through cables buried under the sea. A traffic highway that we use but cannot see. This network of undersea cables is so vast that it connects all the continents. These cables are laid to a maximum depth of 8,000 meters, where the pressure is 5,300 kilograms per square inch. It is like putting the weight of an African elephant on the smallest toe of a human foot. At such a high pressure, the shortest part of the undersea cables is passing under the Black Sea from Azerbaijan to Turkmenistan, which is about 300 kilometers long. And the largest part is 6,600 kilometers long, which is named Maria Cable. It starts from Virginia in the US and runs through the deep sea to Bilbao in Spain. If we talk about the cables laid in all the oceans of the world, their total length is more than 14 lakh kilometers. That's so much that if all those cables were wrapped around all the planets in our solar system and their moons, there would still be enough cable left over to circle the Earth again. Obviously, it is not an easy task to lay such long cables at a depth of 8,000 meters in the sea. Laying just 1 kilometer of submarine cable costs as much as $2.5 million. So now you can estimate yourself how much it would have cost to lay a cable of 14 lakh kilometers. And finally, what was the need to do all this? When today the same thing can be done by satellite. Currently, there are 493 submarine cables around the world. A single cable can carry 4,000 terabytes of data per second. Think of it as 80 million people can live stream a 4K movie simultaneously on one cable, and there are 493 such cables. If the same work is done through satellite, only 24,000 people can watch the same 4 movies simultaneously on one satellite. Now more and more satellites will have to be installed to meet the demand of the people, which will also cost more. Satellites are more expensive and more difficult to maintain than submarine cables. If for some reason a major fault occurs in the satellite, it will have to bear the cost of $40 million to replace it, thus laying a cable under the sea is an easier task than others. The undersea highway has millions of terabytes of data traveling at a time, which means the highway will also be quite wide. That is, these cables will be wider than the cables used in normal domestic use. But it is not so. This yellow and black cable looks as thick as a pipe, but the fiber optic cable running through it is as thin as a hair. Now the question arises here: how to send so much data through such a thin cable? This hair-thin wire is called the fiber optic core, which is made of glass or plastic. Light passes through it, which travels as small packets of data. First, the data in the computer is converted from electrical signals to light signals with the help of a transmitter. The transmitter does this in the form of laser light or LEDs. It has only 2 parts, ones and zeros. To move them from one place to another is the job of the core in which the light travels. Around this core is a layer called cladding. This layer prevents light from leaving the core and bounces it back inside, a process called total internal reflection. Now at a greater distance, this light signal wakes up, for which a repeater is installed after every 100 kilometers, which boosts the light signals. A fiber optic cable is capable of transmitting multiple signals at the same time. This technique is called wavelength division multiplexing, WDM. Lights of different colors are passed together through fiber optics containing packets of different colors. This data travels from one place to another at the speed of light in the blink of an eye. This data reaches a distance of thousands of kilometers and is converted back into electrical signals with the help of photodetectors. And then the computer or mobile reconstructs the data back to its original state. In addition to the core, cladding and copper, the thickness of the submarine cable is due to the 7 layers above it, which protect the cable from water pressure. But still this cable gets damaged in the sea. A major cause of submarine cable damage is fishing. To catch fish in the bottom of the sea, a trawl cord is dragged, in which the fish become entangled. So if the cord accidentally gets caught with the cable, the drag causes a lot of damage to the cable. Now one question may be coming in your mind, that if the submarine cable is damaged in such a vast and desolate sea, how can it be repaired? Fixing it is a later matter. First, how do you find the place where the thousands of kilometers long wire has been damaged? Let us tell you here that today's modern submarine is 1 inch thick and 1 kilometer of wire weighs 1,400 kilograms. According to an estimate, it took almost 2 years to lay the 6,600 kilometers long wire between the US and Europe. Weather poses one of the biggest obstacles to laying submarine cables. The Atlantic Ocean experiences strong winds throughout the year, and there is no idea when these strong winds will develop into hurricanes. Due to these strong winds, the installation work is stopped for several days. Now, if the installation work is so difficult, imagine how difficult the repair work will be. The submarine cable has data centers at both endpoints that monitor the cable's activity around the clock. If the connection between these 2 points is broken, it only means that the cable is broken in the sea. A special device called an optical time domain reflectometer is used to detect exactly where the damage has occurred over thousands of kilometers of wire. The device sends a light pulse from the 2 endpoints where the cable breaks, and the light pulse bounces back. How far the cable is broken is determined by how long the rebound bounces back and how much strength remains. In this way, the exact location of the cable at the bottom of the sea is determined, and the ROVs are sent there. The cable is first inspected with the help of ROVs and then brought out. The damaged part of the cable is cut and another piece is inserted into it. The entire process is called splicing. Hope you like this video, and you will like it and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your kind comments too. See you in the next wonderful video.